Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to show up tonight for our leadership. Today, we're going to be talking about how to establish a relationship with your downline. Some of you may not have many levels yet, and so this may seem like it doesn't pertain to you, but your group, your team can grow out of nowhere really fast. And so you can go from a couple frontline and maybe they've sponsored a couple to somebody joining your team and them just rocking it. And all of a sudden you have, several levels down and your team is just growing like hotcakes, which is obviously the goal, right? And so we have to have an idea of how to establish those relationships, because anytime that you are looking to grow your business and become a director and above, you want to treat your business, your entire organization, like you are their future director. And the more they know about you, the more relationship you've established, the more likely you're going to be able to communicate with them, train them, coach them. And so when they start to grow an organization as well, you could do the same thing. So first of all, the perfect world in Sensi would be that you train your frontline and then they do the same, right? They train what you teach them and it so on and so forth. That would be a perfect world. That's the ideal situation. However, you may sponsor somebody that ends up sponsoring a few people, but has no desire to actually do it as a business. They're just sponsoring because a couple scenarios I've heard, oh, my sister just said she wanted to join, or my customers just asked me about it. And it always blows me away that there's people that are working so hard to grow a team. And then there's other people that are like, oh, they just keep asking me. So it's it's a great issue to have if you just have people banging down your door wanting to join your team, especially when it's funny when you have no desire to grow a team or to be a team leader. So but that happens. I want to kind of let you guys be aware of that. And so you have to look at your team as your team. You are the future director. You are the one they're going to be looking for guidance. You know that you're going to be willing to support them, but they need to know that. And so right now, if you're not a director, you may have some people in between your director, and so they don't really know who you are. If you're not their sponsor, if you're not their director, you're not indicated anywhere in the Sensi workstation as far as who their upline is. However, you can do certain things in order to establish that relationship. Over the years, I've had several people approach it differently. Some of them has sent a welcome email saying, I'm your future director, just kind of putting it out there in the, if you're close. If I wouldn't do that unless you're a superstar consultant. But if you are a star and if your business is growing consistently, it's just inevitable, it's going to happen. But if you're maybe a lead or a star that doesn't have a lot of activity as far as growing, sponsoring, people aren't really in the sponsoring mindset yet, it's fine to just reach out and just say, hey, I saw that you are so-and-so's new team member. I'm her sponsor, or I'm in your upline, and I just wanted you to know that you have not only her, not only your director and your superstar director, but you have me as well, that is happy to support you. And I can't tell you how many times people are so blown away and grateful for those phone calls. Because here's the thing, guys, I can't be everybody, and I can't be there for everybody, right? At all times. Right now, somebody just texted me asking if I can help them with a party. And so obviously I'm doing something else right now, so I can't do that, right? And so I referred them to their upline. I said, have you tried your director? Have you tried your sponsor? And so sometimes when you establish a relationship with them, they may just go straight to you And that's not a bad thing. However, you are going to be at a point that you're not going to be able to be there for everybody as well. So you want to kind of encourage the chain of command, and meaning your sponsor is your first line of communication. Your and then I'm your upline. Your director, always reach out to your director. But what if your director's not available, the sponsor's not available, the superstar director's not available? And so now they may say, hey, I'm reaching out to you because, you know, when I joined, you told me that, you know, you're here to support me. And something to kind of keep it in, like, reined in, and so they're not always just going to you and kind of skipping their sponsor, is the verbiage. You could say, you know, your first line of communication is your sponsor and director, and then second, your director. However, if you can't get a hold of them, I don't want you to hesitate to reach out. And then continue on to say, although I personally may not be available as well, I can't guarantee that, but I do want you to know that I will get back to you if for some reason, you know, you don't get support from those other people. Because here's the thing, guys. Again, I know all of our directors. They're all very strong and do care about their teams. But when it comes to sponsors, that's not always the case. So they may, if you are reaching out like their future director, and they always say, act like a director. So you're doing the things that directors do. So when it happens, it's just falling into place. And those people in your downline, they already see you that way. They see you as a leader. They see, so when all of a sudden the little D is official, it's not anything different. Okay. So let's talk about those of you that have, like I said, not like a huge group yet, and you don't have a lot of levels down. It's definitely a good idea to start establishing a system of how you are going to welcome your downline, introduce yourself, and how you're going to do it. Layering is always my, people that know me for a while, have been in my organization for a long time. They know that I'm a big fan of layering, because you don't know how people communicate. There are going to be people that join your team that do not want to be on social media. And I know it's 2021. Are you kidding me? Right? Some people think, like, how are you not? However, there's just some people that just don't want to go there. I'm going to call Nadia out and share with that. When she joined, she wasn't on Facebook. And I was like, okay, well, and what I just said to her, and this is what I say to everybody, I suggest and ask if they'd be open to opening up a Facebook page just to be on our group page, so they can get the resources that the group pages does. And she was one of the people that were more receptive. A lot of people are like, nope, 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 don't want anything to do with it. Leave me alone. Email me or call me or whatever. And so it was a blessing when she said, it was really helpful for me when she said, I'll try it. And she's actually done very well with it and utilized the resource very well. But the thing is as your business grows and keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, not everybody's on Facebook, like I said, and so the layering is actually necessary. I'm sure you guys have gotten lots of emails from me. The same thing that I post on Facebook, you may get an email 2 seconds later that says, you know, join us on this team page or something. I mean, this team call. It's because there are people out there that don't see it on Facebook. Not only because they're not on Facebook, but not everybody's on Facebook all the time, or they may miss the post. So it's a way to ensure that your downline is getting information. And because once you do become a director and above, there is a requirement to prove to Sensi that you are training them and supporting them in some way. Now, it's not mandatory that you layer. If you choose one resource and say, this is how I'm going to do it, that's fine. However, I will say that you may miss out on some team members that they think they don't want Sensi as a business, but if they get the right information and the right opportunity, their mindset changes. So you don't want to miss out on those people, because their mind is, I'm not a social media person. So it is an extra step. I believe me, I'm sure you guys just all got my recognition from December because it takes a while to break everybody's PRV brackets down and then upload them and then send the new, so it's a process. However, it's so worth it because people in outside of Sensi, let's say in the world outside of Sensi, don't get recognized on a regular basis. I always like to use this experience. It was either last February or the February 1st before. I don't remember. The only reason I remember is because it was around Valentine's Day. And I had, it wasn't last February because we didn't have team meetings in my house because COVID. So it was the previous one. And I had 3 different teachers in my home when we were doing a live training in my house. And I gave them a couple chocolates, little heart chocolates, and told them I love them and I appreciate them. And one of them got really emotional saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish that we got recognition like this because they all work at the same school." And they said they're used to being yelled at from their principal saying that this isn't working, you're not doing good, whatever. And it literally broke my heart that one, they're being treated that way. I mean, teachers, we all know, do not get enough respect and income and all of that stuff, but to be treated like they're not worthy and appreciated by their own staff, their bosses, that just killed me. But then it also really gave me a huge aha is that I just gave them little heart chocolates and that made them feel loved. And so it's something so small that can really change the mindset of your team. And so an email might be something that changes their entire day. Like, even though I was recognizing them for December, somebody may have had a really bad day and maybe they were treated bad at work or something. And then they're getting an email saying that you're amazing and congratulations. We need that, especially right now. So they can't get enough recognition. They get it from me. They get it from their director if I'm not their director. And but if they can get it from you guys, all it's doing is creating a relationship and pouring love into their life that they probably don't have enough of, right? And that's what this business is about, is building relationships, because the relationships is the tool. It's the connection. And they may have already bought into the product, but they may not have they haven't bought into the business yet and the opportunity of what is really available. So when they have people pouring love into them, it can turn their eye or their head or whatever the expression is. An example, superstar director Anna Hughes, she was a nurse full-time and started Sensi just because she loved the product. You'll hear that all the time. And her upline superstar director kept sending her like emails and postcards saying great for being active. Like, she was never a heavy hitter. Like, she just put her 200 in every 3 to 4 months, whatever the requirement was back then. And she said that it blew her away that they just kept coming. She's like, all I did was put them in the trash. Like, oh, that's great. And then I put them in the trash. And so you'd think that, and she's like, I never returned her calls. I never participated in trainings. Never. She's like, it took 2 years for her to finally get us a postcard and go, wow, this chick doesn't give up. And she's like, she just keeps pouring them out. And so she finally answered the phone call when she called just to say, hey, I'm doing my, annual check-in to see how you're doing, or text message or whatever it was. And she's like, I might as well just respond, because this person put so much effort into me that I might as well respond and just say, hi, thank you, whatever. And that conversation that they had changed everything for her. And a year later, not even a year later, she was a director. And then within a year, she was a superstar director after that. So that's an example of how powerful consistent connection is, and not giving up on people saying, oh, they're not looking at my post. Oh, they're not responding to my text. It's just where they are in their life right now. And they need something stable. So we need to create that consistency and that stability for them, so they know that you're not going anywhere, and that they are valued, even if they are just the hobbyist. Because I have to say, it's really sad that people just assume, I think it's the stigma that direct sales has, that there is a lot of ugly people out there that use direct sales to step on other people. And, all they're in it is to make a buck. And so it makes people like all of us that really do care about our team members, it makes them think like, oh, I don't make her any money. So, she doesn't give a care about me at all. And we need to make sure that they know that we do, and that every single person on your team is appreciated and has value. And so that's what these things do. That's what a welcome letter, if you create some type of a template. When I first joined, I'm blessed to say that people were just joining left and right, and I felt like my head was spinning. And so I was like, I have to figure out something that I can streamline, that I'm not recreating every single time all day long. So what I did is I created a little letter that just said welcome, and I left it the template so I could just add in their name. And then I may have adjusted it a little bit depending on who they were. So if they were my frontline that I sponsored, I likely had a relationship with them already, even as just maybe a client. So I just tweaked it a little bit so they knew that it was me. It wasn't just a automated whatever. And it was just such a lifesaver to have that template. So you could just pop it in the mail or email it off. And then they just have a choice. They have a choice to respond. They have a choice to say, I do have support. And the thing is remember when I said you have to kind of prove that you have a source of way of training and supporting your team? You have a record of off the invitation. Now, Orville Thompson will say that all you can do is invite in this business. You invite people to learn about your products. You invite people to buy it. You invite people to become a hostess and get it for free and half off. You invite people to become a consultant and get all the benefits that way. And then you also invite them to even know you and create a relationship on a sponsor, upline, whatever relationship standpoint. And so that's all you can do is invite. And so that's almost like a reliever, like, oh my gosh, I did my invitation. If they don't come the other way, halfway, that's not in our control, because a lot of people will feel they get discouraged being a team leader because they don't get the response that they're looking at. And what they're thinking is, I'm putting effort and nobody's coming back. And so you guys start to second guess your leadership. Am I doing something wrong? Am I not doing enough? All that stuff, when it has nothing to do with that. These people are grown adults. They're over 18 years old. And so they have the choice of utilizing and responding to that invitation and taking that invitation. But if they don't know there's an invitation, they're not going to reach out to you guys. They're not going to, even if you're their sponsor. Believe me, I have like over 100 frontline, and maybe 20% respond to my emails, texts, voicemails, whatever I'm trying to do, postcards, whatever I'm trying to do. Maybe 20% actually receive that invitation. And so I want you guys to know that early in your business, so you're not busy beating yourself up like I was when I was trying to, when things were going so fast and I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have the pep talk, to say you're not doing anything wrong. It's them, it's not you type thing. So I was just really inspired to talk about this, because also I had a leader reach out to me and say, I really need to get to know my team, because, her team just started to really just like skyrocket grow out of nowhere, like levels after levels, and people are sponsoring. And all of a sudden she's like, I don't know even a percentage of my team, except for my frontline. And she really didn't know where to start. And so the invitation is where you start. And you could be vulnerable, you could be transparent and say, hey, look, my team grew faster than I thought. And, I'm sorry that you haven't heard from me. If you're one of those seasoned consultants and you've never spoken to some of your downline before, first of all, that's okay. But two, there's always going to be somebody that feels like you've never reached out. But when you are able to say that you have an email document or timestamp that you welcome them the second not the second, whatever your system's going to be, the week after they joined, that's going to give you the peace of mind that it's on them that they don't know you. It's not on you. It's not from lack of invitation. Okay. And support, lack of support. So, and again, when you become a director and you don't have a relationship with this person, the only fault that there is on their end. And so when they're like, who's this person? I don't know this person's name. Where'd they come from? It's because of their lack of paying attention and participation. Because if they were participating and receiving those invitations, they would have known who you were well before you became a director, right? But I will, the encouraging part is that there are those people out there. You guys are examples of it, that do like receive the invitation. You wouldn't be on this Zoom if you didn't actively receive my invitation to come and join me, right? I can't force you. I can't require it. And, we're not their bosses by any means. We're a support system. And if they don't let us support them, it's not in our control. So, okay. So just to recap, a few different ways that the most simple way to start it, you guys, is just create some type of a welcome letter template that you can just attach to your email and maybe do a quick little blurb, in the body and say attached is information of who I am or something, whatever you want to do. Or if you want to do a template and you just cut and paste it in the body, that's fine too. If you want to do some type of a mailer, that's really your choice. I know a lot of people that didn't start mailers until they became a director. And so know that your team member is getting, they're getting a welcome packet from me. Everybody in my organization gets a welcome packet from me. And the packets just started in January. So if you're thinking I never got a packet from you, it's because I just started an actual small packet, but everybody got, I never sent it to my entire organization. I just sent it to everybody on my team. And the reason why is because financially I couldn't do that at the consistently. And it was kind of a mind blockage of that. I thought that I couldn't afford it. But then once I realized that, okay, I'm losing money by not welcoming everybody. And so I want you guys to think about that. Use that as an example to me. I was trained to focus on just your team. And that mindset was in my mindset too long. And so I always want you guys to learn from my mistakes, because there might be somebody levels down from you, or even generations down eventually when you have directors in your organization that you personally connect with, and they don't mesh with their director or their sponsor, but they just need somebody that gets them or they feel comfortable with to learn the business. And before you know it, they can pass up their sponsor. They can even pass up their director and become a star director. And if they're being worked with and if they're being supported. So obviously the goal, I hope for everybody, is to be in that place one day. So the one thing I know I did right is that I always treated my business like a business, and I always treated my organization like I was a superstar director. Okay. Except for that mailing part. And so I always looked at everybody. That's why everybody gets an email from me. That's always been the same. The mailing part didn't happen till January, but everybody in my organization gets a welcome email. Now, if you say I didn't get one from you, Jess, it's because it went to spam and you didn't see it. But every single person gets an email as well as a packet now, just so you guys know. What's in it, I will show you guys so you're aware. You don't want to duplicate it. So I have them all ready to go. Just so you guys see how I am able to do that is I got all of them ready. I even have this is what everybody on my team got, was a welcome postcard, but I add it. I don't know what that meant, Cindy. So what I do is I pre-write like a little message. It's handwritten, and then I just write in their name at the top. So it tells them to check their email for the tools, tips, info to join our Facebook pages, Zoom meetings, stay connected. If you did not receive my emails, please check your spam and add me to your contacts so you don't miss anything. And then I just highlight my little thing that says, may the sky be your limits. And in the front, it just says, we wanted to personally welcome you as a new member of our team. And then if they're in my group, I write in group, so they know that there's another director between us. And it says, we would love to help you be successful in any way we can. Please feel free to contact us with any questions you may have. Best wishes for a sensational start on your new business. So my entire career, they always got this, as far as everybody in my team. I've only had several directors in my organization the last couple years. So for the bulk of my team, it was just me. And so I was sending to everybody, but they were just getting a postcard. Now they get the postcard, and then I'm going to show you guys what they have. And I'm always big on duplication and not reinventing the wheel. This is the same welcome packet that Becca Levi sends everybody that doesn't have a superstar director between them. Okay, so I send the 2-year plan so they can know it from the get-go. I know that some of you may say, oh, they're new, that might be too much. I learned the 2-year plan the first week I joined, and that's why I duplicated the 2-year plan, and I literally did it every single month for 2 full years. And so don't ever think because somebody says, oh, I just want to do it as a hobby, that it can't change with a snap of the fingers and getting information that's available to them, because that's what it was for me. I really joined to put milk on the table, which is, what, $5, $3 or something, and not thinking anything more than that, not thinking I had any skill or ability to do anything more than that. Then I got information of what I needed to do. And so I did everything I can to do it, and I did it. So again, one of the biggest mistakes we could do as sponsors is assume that they know more than you do because everybody thinks they don't know what they're doing, or they don't want a business, or they don't have the skill or whatever. It's until they get the information and they have the support to actually do that. Okay. So that's something I want you guys to always remember, is that it's very unlikely for somebody to join saying, I'm going to be a business builder. They are out there, but it's more likely for them to be a hobbyist, or I'm going to do it as I can. And they just don't think that this is going to happen. But once they're educated on it, their eyebrows tend to go up. Okay. On the back is how to use tools. There's it talks about post help wanted signs at parties, open houses, craft fairs, or expos. This is a great recruiting tool. So it just tells them, if you're trying to build a team, let people know that you want help. This talks about the drawing slips that, this can be converted into cell phone, but it just explains how getting people's information is so important, leaving the ball in your court. This is a letter that's been a very popular letter that's gone around the Scentsy company for years. Her name's Angie Williams. She was actually the what was her level? Vice president of Nestle, and for 20 years, and then got a phone call out of nowhere saying, we're eliminating your position. And instead of getting upset about it, she just told them, okay. And they're like, did you hear what I just said? We're eliminating you. She's like, yeah, now I can just focus my energy on my Scentsy business, because she already had a hobby Scentsy business. And she just converted all her knowledge and energy and time into Scentsy. And now she's a very successful superstar director. So this one it's a light bulb. So a lot of people will do a light bulb for life program. That was more when our bulbs were only $1. But you could do a program as long as you stick with me as your consultant, I only charge you $1 instead of $2. Or if you only need one bulb, when you place an order, I'll throw it in. And how you do that is you just stock up on bulbs with your free credit, right? So you're able to do that. But these are just little tips that people, that I was given from Becca's welcome packet that worked for me. So of course I'm going to share it with other people, right? Um, Free $75 shopping spree. So this is a flyer that you can download from Becca's website and get these tools. All these tools are there. And so people can utilize them, but also duplicate them. Another thing is the recruiting superstar game. This was my biggest tool with booking parties and literally and growing my team in the beginning, because I was just doing parties after parties. I was booking 3 to 4 people from every party. I know right now it's different because we can't be in people's homes. It's totally, it's not as simple. But with social media, if your team has it, you can help them convert. They can still play this game if they do a Zoom call or a Facebook. You could do a Facebook Live and they just tally their own stuff. I mean, it's like a, honor code type thing. This one says super hot tip, super recruiter. What to say? Parties are your best place to recruit. Use your bags, play the cards, and find your party animal game. Remember, always close the party with an invitation. There's the word invitation to consider the business opportunity. Here is an effective thing to say. If you had fun tonight, think about doing what I do. All it costs to get started is $99 and you are in business. But then you get to add, that they can host a party and earn their kit. So these are like really important things that they need to know that's available to them and that there's strategy. What these do, it shows that there's a strategy to success. So if they follow it, they will be successful. And so most people think like, I don't know or have the skill, but it's basically saying if you do these things, A, B, and C, you're going to have more success than if you did nothing, or if you don't follow these success tools. Here's some host coaching. So they have some initial host coaching from their launch party. And then on the other bag, it's just information on, let's see, what's it say? It's all in the bag. The more parties you do, the more money you will make. Shy, afraid you won't be able to book parties. Successful consultant use the bag technique to book lots of parties. So this party right here, I've done several times. It's really cool. You could do it on a Zoom party, have some bags with some things in it, and have them pick a bag. And basically they, let's see, I'm like going blank right now. You can put together empty bags with a sign attached to the front. The signs say free shipping, shopping spree, and then details a party with 500 earns a host $75 in free product and 3 half off items. You could also use 3 bags with the date attached to the front. Let everyone know if you are interested in booking parties on any of those dates. The gift will go home with them and be given to them the night of the party. So then on a social media standpoint, you could just say that it will be mailed to them. So you don't tell them what the content is, but whatever's inside will be mailed to them. And then I'm not going to go ahead and I'm just going to post these. I don't even know. I probably already uploaded them to the leadership page, but I'll double check and put them in if I didn't. So this is another card that I loved that she puts in her. So like I said, I'm just duplicating. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm not trying to be, I don't have a creative side. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm using what works and what worked for me. You may tweak it. They're going to get this from me, but if you want to do something for you, you can use this as an example, and what isn't here, you can add if you want on your own welcome packet as far as mail or even just email. This one says, challenge yourself to believe in you. And on the other side, it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be? Brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You're playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God. that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconditionally give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And it's from Marianne Wilson. So I want to tell you guys that this really impacted me, because for me, my whole life, I always like dumb myself down. And what I mean by that is, people used to tell me that like they thought I would they either thought I'd be a mean person, because when I was young I was pretty good looking. And so I like dumb myself down, like I don't want them to think that, that I'm good looking and smart and they're going to be more threatened by me. So I literally would hold back my talents, my knowledge, my everything, because like in school, people already hated me just because the way I looked. And I'm sure all of you have experienced that in some way, whether it was looks, talents, knowledge, whatever. People tend to get intimidated where they see a skill that they want to have. So it's a defense mechanism that they make. So they try to make you feel bad about it. Right. And so I didn't know how bad not going to say it was even in my early adulthood. I didn't know that so many years of my life that I was really affected that way and holding myself back from like shining my light and really being, showing what I had to offer. And this message in my welcome packet from Becca made me go, well, shoot, I am a child of God. And why am I holding back? Like, he made me this way. Wait a minute. Why am I trying to not show people that I do have brains? Like, I'm not just a blunt, dumb person that has no, opinion. And that's what made me have the drive to believe that I actually could be a leader and I could offer somebody something. Because before Scentsy, I felt like I had nothing to offer the world. And that really was hard on my self-esteem. And so when I realized that Scentsy gave me an opportunity to offer something to people, it wasn't like I'm not offering me per se, but I'm offering an opportunity and I'm willing to support them in that, if that makes sense. And that was what started my confidence building. And the more confidence you have, as long as it doesn't go into the arrogant side, right? But the more likely you're going to share. And so that's why my business grew so fast, because I went from thinking I was nothing and didn't have anything to offer anybody to, wait a minute, I do have something to offer. It's not necessarily me, but it's a tool. I get to open the door to an amazing opportunity. And that's what I did. And when I saw people like me needed that as well, it grew my confidence and it made me go, I want to make sure everybody knows that this is available to them, because I want people to be confident within themselves as well. I want them to feel value, like Scentsy has given me. I didn't feel like I had value to offer before. So that's why I'm including that, because I think it's very important. This is not, I did not make this. It's just like a chart that, so they can kind of see where they're at. And it breaks down the monthly sales award, earning leadership bonuses, and how to be active every month. I just realized this is so old. It says 150. I'm going to have to go back and change that. And then just for them to kind of encourage them to write a goal down. And on the other side, I did create this, but it's just like writing and I pasted some already made Google pictures. This is just about introducing Amy to them, so they know it's an actual tool that's important, that if they start in the beginning of their business, they're going to feel more in control of their business, and they're going to actually have more repeat clients if they start off strong with follow-up. This is something I'm duplicating. It's something I got from my church. It's just a breakdown of what we see in our workstation of the SMART goal. And on the back, which is cool, that it just says goals for, and then they can actually break down spiritual, physical, professional, financial, family, emotional, educational, and individual goals. So it's showing them in two different places how important it is to actually set goals. And then the last thing that I added, this is just, I got this from somebody else. I just recreated the success. So, Scentsy says, start working your Scentsy business today, create goals and an action plan, but put it in your writing, sorry. Encourage others to join you, never give up, take part in all team training and training center in your workstation. Study, learn, grow, and share your enthusiasm. And then your success is determined by you. And at the bottom, it says, look at your new business as a chance to learn, grow, make new friends, and create whatever opportunity is that you are looking for. I am excited to be a part of your journey. And then I just have my contact information. So all of your team members, as they join, no matter where they are in your downline, get that packet. Okay. So they're being touched. So I want you guys to know, like, if you have a week that you're behind, you haven't had a chance to do something, to send an email off, rest assured that they not only got an email from me, but they got a packet. And so they're not just untouched. So then you can sit down and say, okay, when can I consistently, once a week, or whatever system you want to do, I would suggest once a week, because if you try to keep up with it like every day, then you're going to start beating yourself up if you didn't get around to it and kind of forgetting, like, who did I do? Then you can sit down and send off an email, write a postcard, whatever you decide to do. And the only thing and I think I mentioned this the other day, it's so important to log what you are doing, because I've been in every situation. I've been organized and logged things really well. And sometimes I have been very unorganized, and I get things out, but I forget if I did it. And I've actually duplicated sending the same person. And it's very embarrassing, not going to lie. But what I always say is that, well, I'd rather you get welcomed too much and double than not at all. You know what I mean? So create some type of a spreadsheet, name, content of what you sent, when you send it, whether it's email, whether it's mail. And then, but make sure you write their name down so you know where to start when you're doing welcome recognition. Okay. So, you know, like, okay, the last person, and their join date. It's very helpful to put on your spreadsheet their join date, so you know where to pick up. Because sometimes let's say you did recognition for welcome today at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but somebody joined at 2 o'clock. So you want to start with the last day that you joined, the join date that you recognized. Pull that last day up as the first day, and then you'll be able to say who joined, since you did recognition. And so you're not missing anybody, because that name will come up that you did it, but then somebody else actually joined on that date. I hope this is making sense, guys. Now, again, you can be as creative as you want. The only thing I suggest is just to figure out a system to be consistent. That's it. But I also want you to remember, simplicity is always going to win, because you may have a lot of time on your hands to do, a welcome big old extravaganza thing now. But if you're in this for the long haul, eventually you're not going to be able to, keep up with that financially, possibly, or just time wise. So if you create a very simple system that I suggest you kind of like just knock them out and get them already pre-made, so you have plenty. And then you just start making them once you get down to like 5 or something. That'll help with your consistency, but also you can remember, you're teaching your team whatever you do. So whatever you do, they're going to think, okay, that's what I have to do. Now, I might be contradicting myself a little bit, because I just showed a good amount of things that I send, but when you do become a director, it's going to make sense, like and above, because you're going to be making a little bit more money, and if not a lot more, and then you're also going to be able to explain your system. Okay. And so as you grow it over time, like I just did, I just added a bunch of stuff to what I send out. I'm able to tell you guys why I do it and how I did it. I'm duplicating what was already done from Becca, and I'm making sure that they're already done ahead of time. And that's how I'm able to do it. And then it's really not that expensive, guys. It's a $60, a 60-cent stamp. So to me, a brand new consultant is definitely worth 60 cents because they may be my next superstar director on my team, in my downline. And I don't know that until I actually, put some time into them. Do you mail that all out with just a 55 cents? Oh, okay. So yeah, I have forever stamps, and it's a 70-cent stamp that I just have. I get books while I'm at, well, I'm sure you know what a 70-cent stamp is. I think I ran out of them. My last thing, I have to go get them tomorrow, but yeah, they're little butterflies, the 70-cent stamp. I keep those on me. And then, and so a lot of them already, and what I even do is I even stamp them. So like that envelope already had a stamp on it. I don't have a name to put on it right now, but once I get a name, I haven't done a mailing that, it's only Monday, but I didn't do a mailing last week. So I'm going to be doing double. So there's, again, another piece of mind for you guys. You guys may be way more organized and systematic than I am, but I just want you guys to learn from me. Last week, the last couple of weeks, I haven't had a chance to do a lot of things that I normally like to do. I've been like playing catch up from last, December, and that's okay. So I want you guys to remember that, yes, you want to be consistent, but if life gets in the way, like it did for me, don't let yourself get beat up and feel like you're, because one, there's going to be people that judge you no matter what, no matter how perfect you are, how systematic, how, whatever, people are still going to find flaws in you. That's not like I don't like to share that part because it's not a happy part, but it's the truth, because it depends on their mindset, right? And their perspective. And that's why I always tell you to ask yourself, is that a fact or is that an opinion? When anybody ruffles your feathers and makes you feel bad about what you're doing as a leader or whatever, or even a customer makes you feel bad, you have to ask yourself, is this a fact or is this a opinion? Okay. And then just know that you will have times that you're running your business and the systems aren't working for that time. It's taking longer, you're changing it up, whatever. This business is a constant evolving business. As you grow your business, the systems that you did before may not work for you now. Just like I'm at a point that where my organization is, just sending a postcard to just my team is not cutting it. I had to step it up and start implementing something else. So that'll happen over time. So be okay with that. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting it and expecting a different result. So if I'm trying to get more results of more people promoting and find new directors, I have to be digging deeper. And so that's why I had to change up my system as far as what I'm sending out. I did. Well, is there so non-machinable? I don't personally do the machine, Melissa. I do have a Dymo. Honestly, I don't know how to use it. If I figure out if somebody knows how to
what a non-machinable stamp is there's a machine that it goes through. It has to be 1/4 of an inch thick, and if you put on a regular forever stamp and it doesn't fit through that, you'll get it sent back with low postage. So a non-machinable stamp is the 70-cent stamp where it doesn't have to go through that machine.
Yeah, I do the stickers, the stamps. I understand. Was that what you're trying to say?
No.
Oh, I did not catch
There's two different types of stamps. There's a 55-cent stamp forever stamp that goes through. So when you drop your stuff off at the post office, a machine sorts it, not an actual person. And so a non-machinable stamp is where the person sorts it instead of the machine. But it depends on how thick it is.
Okay, so my thickness has the weight ends up being the 70-cent stamp. That's all I know. Yeah, that's how thick mine is. So it's a 70-cent stamp. Thank you. And then Nina said, I did my recognition on my team page, but I was waiting to get my team charms and awards before I mailed them out. The happy mail recognition. Unfortunately, I had family members pass. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Nina. So I'll be mailing those out this week. Okay. So just to give you peace of mind, I just sent emails out for December, Nina. So here's the thing, recognition is not required, it's suggested, because what is recognized is repeated. So what is recognized is repeated. So if you aren't able to get it out for 2 months, be okay. I mean, here's the thing. You have a very good, see, my words are blah, blah, blah. Very good reason why you're a little behind. I had the first 3 weeks of, last week of December and first 2 weeks of January, I had COVID and I couldn't touch anything. So I couldn't mail anything out. So I'm just now mailing out, like, all of you guys that got paid by title. I'm just doing it now because I had other things that took precedence. And oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Nina, because another thing that's so important when people become leaders, especially directors, they think that they have to put all of a sudden put all their time into their team. And that's where they struggle. They think that, now that I'm a director, I have to do so much more for my team, and then your business starts to suffer. So doesn't matter if you're a director or a superstar director or a lead consultant, your business should always have priority. So I was behind on my mailers for my clients because I couldn't touch things and mail things out. So I had to put that first. I couldn't worry about I'm not getting my mailers out for my team or my group yet, because my business is always what's keeping my business growing, right? Just like I'm sure I've shared this with you guys before, that Orville Thompson says the business that you have now, the team that got you there is not going to get you to the next level. So the team that helped you promote and got you to the level that you are now is not going to get you the next level. And what that means is you have to be focusing on your business, meaning your clients, your hosts, and those to become future consultants, because those new people are what is going to push you to the next level. Not that your team that you have now isn't important and isn't working hard and you shouldn't value them. Please don't get me wrong, but you can't rely on established business that, as far as team members, because the percentage of people being on fire is usually in the beginning. And it's going to be a very small percentage of people that are going to keep up that pace. So you have to be bringing on new people so they're excited and they're doing way more than they probably will end up doing later. So that when your seasoned consultants stop working or don't work every month, you're filling in the gaps with new consultants and their excitement. And then you're going to eventually have business builders. Like, I've been in this almost 10 years, guys, and have sponsored almost 400 people in 10 years. And look at how many people are on this live. It's a small percentage that actually are business builders. So, and we have to be okay with that, because we know that the 20% of your business is going to be, 20% of your consultants are going to do 80% of your business. Oh yeah, that's so sad. I'm so sorry, Nina. So anyways, that's why I always say there's two sides to everything. We have to be consistent. We have to figure out some type of system to stay consistent. But on the other hand, there's always something that is going to get in the way. And because we work our business in our homes, and our family should be our first priority, sometimes we're going to have to put things and set them aside, and things are going to be you're not going to be doing it when you'd like to. Like, if you would like to get your mail out by the 15th for your team, that's a great system to have. But if it doesn't happen, don't beat yourself up. As long as you eventually get to it, it's a nice surprise. Like, I'm sure people from, today were surprised getting an email from me from December. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, okay, this is late, but what are they going to do? Like, not welcome my congratulations? You know what I mean? So, and then there's another thing, is that there's going to be people that judge and say, oh, she's late, or, why did she even email this? This is stupid. This doesn't make sense. And, that she, whatever, and say a bunch of nasty stuff. And then there's going to be other people are going to be like, oh, yay, I really needed this today. So just know that when you are a leader, you're putting yourself in the spotlight to be the target of a lot of things, of judgment, of misunderstanding, of all the things, because you're literally putting yourself on the chopping block to be judged. And But this old quote that I've told you guys before, those that matter don't mind, and those that don't mind matter, right? So meaning the people that are judging you on that you're late on your emails, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, those people are very likely to, no matter what you do, you're not going to make them happy. No matter how squeaky clean you are and shining of a consultant and leader that you are, they will always find fault. And so that's why Jen Audette, one of the highest paid superstar directors in the company, said on stage at Reuniting that you have to not only grow a big heart in this business, but you have to grow thicker skin. You have to know the difference between an opinion and a fact, because it will eat you up. And believe me, I've been there. I've had breakdowns because I before used to take everybody's personal opinion to heart, because I didn't have a lot of self-worth. I didn't have confidence in who I am. So I let other people tell me who I was. And if they didn't like what I was doing, it made me think that I wasn't good enough. So I got to a point in my business that I had to say, I either have to accept that this is just the way it is, that people are going to judge you on a good or bad way, no matter what you do. So you just have to know, I always tell new directors this, that as long as the guy upstairs knows where your heart is, you know where your heart is, that's all that matters. Because no matter what you do, people are going to misjudge you and judge you. So, but then you'll find that there's people like you guys, you ladies, sorry, that you don't take, you're not judging that Jess sent an email from December, for December recognition. You're saying, oh, she finally got around to it. Or you're not thinking anything, but you're not sitting there poking at me and judging that I'm a horrible superstar director. But I promise you, there are people that are. And we have to be aware that that's just part of the gig. That's just part of being a leader. That's why they say it's lonely at the top, because most people don't grow that thick skin. They let other people defeat them. And so when they start to get bigger and bigger, their business starts growing, and they start getting more opinions because there's more opinions to be made. If they don't make a decision that this is who I am, this is my intention, and know the difference between an opinion and a fact, they end up being defeated and they quit. So that's why when you hear of like directors, superstar directors, star directors, superstar consultants, people that have worked really hard, when you hear that they end up quitting out of nowhere, it's because they didn't prepare themselves for the hard stuff, and they didn't grow that thick skin, and they're still struggling with their own self-worth. Not that I don't still struggle, I'm a human being, but I know the difference between, I know that what I'm doing, and I know my intention, and I've been judged enough that I see the difference in both sides. I see people that don't mind, and so they don't mind that I'm late, or I'm not, I may seem scatterbrained sometimes. I'm human, right? But then the ones that do mind, those people usually are the ones that aren't really doing much in my business anyways, to be honest with you. I rarely had anybody complain to me about my leadership that were actually working their business. So that's where you kind of go, take it from a grain of salt, consider the source type thing. It's true. There's always going to be those people, no matter what you do, where you go, who you are, and what you achieve. There's always going to be people like that just are negative Nancy's, or whatever you want to call them, And I will tell you though, that with that being said, those are the people you want to try to love on more. And I didn't get to that point in my realization until really recently, to be honest with you guys, because I had some of you already know about it, but I had a real big aha moment over somebody that always was giving me crap. I didn't get my charm yet. I didn't get recognition. Where's my email? You didn't tell you my name was spelt wrong. Why didn't you tag me on Facebook so everybody can see, what I did? Like everything I did was wrong. Everything. She caught every little, and it was always minor, like it's in the mail, or sorry, I forgot your name is something different on Facebook, so you didn't get tagged. Something very there was a reason behind everything, but she She poked at me and stabbed at me every chance she had. But then one day I was on the phone with her and I found out why she was like that, because she was not being treated very well at home. She had a spouse that literally treated her horribly. And so I was able to see a side of her that made me go, oh my gosh, yeah, she's a thorn in my side, but she needs more love than I've been giving her. I've been letting her negativity affect who I am, and who I am is love to love people. So that was a big aha. So remember, when people are stabbing at you, it's usually there's something else going on. It's not you. It has nothing to do with you. It's you're just the target because there's somebody that they can point at, and it's just easier to take their energy out on other people. And so that is part of the business, unfortunately, guys, when you're in a leadership position. All right, this is way over. I had anticipated. I'm sorry. I tried to keep it to 45 minutes, but there's just so much in leadership, you guys, that we could talk forever. So my biggest thing, just as a recap, figure out some type of a welcome way that you're going, whether you're going to text everybody, whether you're going to call them or email them or send, mail something, or all of the above, whatever it is. I will tell you, layering also helps you feel better if you're behind on things. So what I did, again, learn from Jess's mistake. Usually when I'm behind on mailings, I do my emails, so I get that out of the way, and then I can take my time doing the mailing, because at least they were recognized. So this time I did Facebook recognition, but unfortunately I have people that don't have Facebook. So those people have been waiting around for recognition. So if you can help it, if you are going to layer, which I suggest at least 1 or 2 ways, figure out the way that you can knock out and get it out to them. And then whatever's more time consuming, you could take your time doing. Okay. So, but I will tell you that emails now are more time consuming than my mailers for promotions, because I put them together. So all I have to do is write their name on it, and it's already done. So and it just makes it easier when you're on, you have lack of time to do stuff. But and then last, I promise is the last thing. Just make sure that if you are going to streamline stuff, do something personal, like do a heart and your name, just so they know that you're not just giving it to somebody else and letting it streamline and you don't even know what's happening. Make sure they see that you've at least taken the time to write something on that postcard or package, or maybe handwrite their address if everything else is streamlined, whatever. But it's so important for them to see that you've taken the time to do whatever you're sending them, that you were involved in that. Even if you do have your kid package everything else for you, do something. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging in with me. I hope that this helped. And whether you have something in place already, maybe it kind of gave you a different, thing to think about. Or if you haven't, it's okay. You could always start today. Okay. Bye guys. Love you. Bye-bye.